Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. I am Brandie Burfitt and this is the Burfitt Club. Thank you so much for joining. I am currently using a GLP-1. I use the brand Zepbound. I get that through Eli Lilly, and I've been using that medication for going on 13 weeks now. And I've been logging my journey since my very first shot. I started at 241 pounds. And as of last week, I was down 36 pounds in total. So before my shot, I weigh in. Today is Thursday. I weighed in this morning and I weighed in at 203. Okay, so that gives me 38 pounds. So since my shot last week, I have lost another 2 pounds, which brings me to 38 pounds from 241 to 203. Okay, and since I've been on this medication, I have not had many side effects at all. I did experience a bit of nausea my first week of 5 milligrams. But I did find an herbal tea to help support that, and it's been working really well. But other than that, I have not experienced any severe side effects. Okay, I started out on the starter dose of 2.5. And after 8 weeks of that, my doctor bumped me up to the 5 milligrams. I did not ask for the higher dose. Somehow when I got my prescription in, it just said 5 milligrams. I thought that was the norm, but I got a call from her today saying it was time for me to put my prescription in if I wanted to, and if she wanted her to bump me, if she wanted me to bump, if I wanted her to bump me up to the 7 or 7.5 milligrams. And I said no. She said she agrees because if your current dose is working very well, there is no need to increase. So I did not. I'm going to stay on the 5 milligrams for another 4 weeks until that stops working. But I have learned so much since being on this journey. I've learned, what works for my body as far as food. I've learned some things about myself that I didn't really realize. And I just wanted to share a couple of those things with you guys. So one of the first things I learned or figured out was that shot day is my favorite day of the week now. I so look forward to Thursdays because I know I'm going to get a boost on my weight loss journey. And I know some people, they say around day 4 or 5, they start getting that their appetite back and the cravings come back. That isn't really the case for me. I do notice though that maybe once a week, I kind of want something sweet, but I know that if I do go for something sweet, it's not going to sit well for me in my stomach because I've been off of that for 13 weeks now. So certain cravings just don't hit the same, if you know what I mean. So I realized that shot day is my favorite day of the week, and partially because it's personal. It reminds me of who I am. I think that since starting Zepbound, it was the first decision I've made in years that was strictly for myself. I thought it was a good idea. I didn't listen to any outside opinions, and honestly, it has been the best decision that I have ever made. Okay, I'm down 38 pounds, and if I listen to people tell me what they would have done, or if they were me, they would have done this, and that, I would still be eating myself to death. Or stressed out because clearly nothing was working. I'm not saying that a GLP-1 should be a last resort. If you want to do that as the first go, you do that. Don't listen to anyone telling you what you should or shouldn't be doing with your body, because nobody knows your body more than you do. Okay? And that's it. Like, who cares? You got to shut out that outside noise, especially if you're thinking about something as serious as this. Weigh your odds for sure. Decide for yourself if this is a good decision for you. And you may find, that it is. Another thing I learned is once I gained control of my eating, my mind became more clear. Okay, I have more focus to get things done. Yes, I wrote this stuff down. I have more focus to get things done, and things were getting done that I've avoided for years. You know, things such as decluttering or, you know, cleaning up under a certain space. You know, things are, and they still are. So let me be clear about that. I'm 13 weeks in and things are continuing to get done. It's not like a juice boost to where you like, oh, I gotta clean, you know, like you on some sort of drug. It's not like that. It's very, very subtle. Okay. Things were getting done. And since I wasn't so busy eating, I had time, you know, to reflect on my life choices, like allowing people to benefit off the fact that I care about their opinion, you know, back to the first thing that I learned, you know, because food toxins can keep you numb and unaware of a lot of stuff. So I had realized how much time I had spent eating my days away, you know, like wake up thinking about what I'm going to eat. You know, showering, thinking about what I'm going to eat. On my way to work, thinking about what's in my lunchbox because I'm going to eat it. You know what I'm saying? So it just woke me up to a lot of things that were going on that I was unaware of because I was, you know, numbed down off of food. A third thing I noticed is without the illusion of cravings, I don't even like processed sugar for real. Like, what was I thinking? I don't. That's how I know the food is doing something to us because you just telling me out the blue, I don't want none of that. I don't know. Because the same cake, the same candy bars, the same coffee, but now something is just off with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what changed? It's like almost like a veil had lifted. You know, Zepbound took more than my appetite. I said in a previous video, I seriously think I had a food addiction because once I stopped getting high from that food, like the day of my very first shot, like after my first shot, I went to the grocery store. Maybe like 10-15 minutes after I took my first shot. I get into the parking lot and I'm like, is it working already? I should have known, like if I had to ask myself that, something was probably working because I just felt a little bit different. It wasn't like, oh, my appetite or oh, my stomach. Like something just felt different, but it was real subtle. You know, like, is it raining? And you got to stop and pause like, oh, it might be drizzling a little bit. It was something like that. It was super, super subtle. Okay. And I felt like disgusted because before I got my shot, y'all, I went to the store and I bought all these little candy bars. You know, like those Hershey's Nuggets, they be in like the gold wrappers. Sometimes they got almonds in them. Sometimes they got toffee in them. They are so freaking bomb. You know, when you addicted to sugar. So I bought some of those. I filled up like a tub of them just for my classroom. Like I am going to bang these during class, after class, in between classes. Like, ooh, I got some chocolate. You know, this what I'm finna do. So they sat there for like days in my classroom. And I'm like, I ain't tore into these. Like, is that medicine work? You know, still wondering a little bit. So one day I'm like, I'm about to eat one of these, like, cause you know, those bags of things is expensive. I eat one, I take one bite, maybe like half, cause you know, it's only 2 bites. I take a bite of it and like my stomach started turning a little bit. I was like it didn't even taste like chocolate. And mind you, these is the same pieces of candy that I've been getting and I've known and I've loved for years, right? So I'm like, this don't even taste like chocolate. It tastes like a mushed up kind of like sugar substance or something. So I'm like, okay, this ain't even right. So it was just kind of nasty. So excuse me, I only crave now like whole foods, real foods, like the chicken, the salads, like that kind of stuff be turning me on for real. Like, ooh, is that fruit? You know, I have drank no juice, no soap. No, I had a Canada Dry ginger ale when I was at this gathering, and it was good. That wasn't an issue for me because, you know, for some of us, Canada Dry is like, that ain't pop. That's, you know, but anyway, I did have a Canada Dry, one Canada Dry in 13 weeks. But I didn't feel nothing about it. But I ain't had no juice. And trust me, I used to have a cup of juice or a cup of pop with everything water. I crave water now. Like, anybody got some water? Is there some water here? Especially if I don't have my own Stanley, which I find that I always do. But be careful out here, because it's easy to fall into like subtle traps that can hold you for years. Like, just the empty thoughts of putting food in your mouth. Like, when you want a GLP-1, like, most of the time, I'm gonna say 9 times out of 10, like, something just click and you like, I don't even want that. And it's perfect. Like, this medication helped me realize what my body needs. Okay, it needs protein, it needs water. I don't need all those carbs and processed sugar, because I'm starting to realize it's not even good. Like, it don't even taste good. So if you starting on this journey, just please listen to your body when it's trying desperately to break these bad habits. Like, I know we be wanting it, we be needing it, we be craving, like, but after a while, you gonna be like, that's not what I want. And that's okay. So I just wanted to like come on here and share that. Like, if you are contemplating starting a new weight loss journey and GLP-1 or Zepbound is in the picture, just listen to your own opinion, because a lot of times people just be hating. They be trying to knock you down, or because they comfortable with you being where you are because it benefits them. Like, a lot of people benefited off of me caring about what they thought, because they knew that I probably was going to take their advice. No matter how much I wanted to go the other way, it seemed like people got off on watching me change my mind, or guilt tripping me, talking about, yeah, you know that a lot of people, they be looking skinny, or don't be getting skinny. You don't be minding your business. And that's a problem for me. Like, people just used to like, did I ask you though? Did I ask you? I mean, sometimes I would, but 9 times out of 10, nobody asked you what you thought about it. And that's another thing. If you're not ready to tell people what you up to or what you've been doing, don't, because it's nobody's business. Okay, because in the beginning, if I'm thinking about taking a GLP-1, it worked for my friend. Oh, girl, do you know what's in that? Whatever that. But you walking around with a flu shot, though. But you asking me what's in the GLP-1. Like, you research anything that you do your darn self. Like, no, I had to stop telling people, because my business is my business. And I couldn't have been more happier. Like, the moment I decided to start this GLP-1, like, that's when like the next level of life start taking off for me. Like, I'm gonna open my vial and start preparing this medication, because it is shot day. I take my shot every Thursday, and I do it on camera. If you want to see any of my previous Zepbound videos, please feel free to go back and check those out. My video from last week, and I have my first one up there. I probably have like the last 4 Zepbound journeys up there. So yeah, like, don't let nobody tell you that you shouldn't be taking no Zepbound. I'm just gonna clean my area. And I'm noticing that there is a lot less fatty tissue to grab. Every week that I take Zepbound, my stomach fat just shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. If you thinking about it, just do. Don't let anybody scare you out of your weight loss goals, okay? Because I would be in the same spot if I would have took the judgy eyes and all of that. Like, and it's nobody's business, okay? Do what you want to do, girl. Do what you want to do, because one thing people gonna do is try to knock you off of what you need to be on. And that's not fair for us. You know, we've been playing small while being big for way too long. Okay? It's too much. If you are thinking of doing this, just do it. There is no shame. It's not no easy way out, because who gonna drink the water for you? Who gonna exercise 2 to 3 times a week for you? Who gonna make sure you get enough protein and enough vitamins? Who's gonna do that? Since it's so easy. All right, I got my stuff in there up to the 0.5. I am going to inject right now. But I can't. It's a lot being said about GLP-1s, and what really needs to be said is mind your business, because I can't take no more, you know. But at the end of the day, it is your decision. You know, you can take opinions into consideration, but ask yourself, has other people's opinions gotten you partially in the situation that you're in now to maybe why you're thinking about it? Did somebody tell you all you need to do was this, or if you would just do that, or come and work out with me because I be going here every other? Do what you want to do and do what you need to do for you, because that's all there is to do. That's all there is to do. You don't owe anybody an explanation. And you know, I wasn't losing weight at all after I've gained weight after having kids. I wasn't losing weight at all to where I was just like, man, dang, I'm just gonna have to be big. They say once you have kids, you know, you never snap back. I started losing weight on Zepbound immediately. 38 pounds later. And it ain't even been 13 weeks. It'll be 13 weeks next week on shot day. Like, this is really just the final day of the 12th week, for real. Like, because you know, once you take the shot, a week gotta go by for it to be a week of the shot. Like, girl, I'm telling you, who else was about to lose 38 pounds in 12 weeks? And I don't even be exercising that much. Like, I really don't. I just make sure I get that water, my protein, my vegetables, and I drink that GLP-1 support tea. I will link it below. I'll put it in the description. It's a discount code going on right now. It's BC for like Burfitt Club, BC GLP-1, or it might be GLP, BC GLP or BC GLP-1. I will double check before I put it down there in the description. Is basically 50% off until February 1st, because once I started my 5 milligrams, like, my stomach was nauseous and I almost stopped taking the medicine, y'all, because I was like, ooh, they did say you'll be nauseous, people. And I didn't want them problems, because at that point I had already lost like 26 pounds or so. And I was like, if that's all I can take, that's all I can take. I'm not about to be sitting in the bed hunched over like this. But then I got that GLP-1 tea and I was like, oh, okay. Like, about 15 minutes later or so, I was able to like sit up and walk to the kitchen, and it just worked. And it got a lot of other herbal benefits in there too. But I'll put that video here too if you want to see that video where I talk about like all the herbs that I found in that tea. But it do help a lot. But you gotta make this choice for yourself. Zepbound is not the end of the world. It's not a mystery to where they test subjects in on us and stuff. It's not even that deep. It's not even that deep. Just talk to your primary care physician. That's literally all I did. I went to the doctor. I was like, I'm big, bruh. Like, I'm big and I need some guidance, okay? I need some guidance. And she like, well, I do think it'll help you. Why that hurt my feelings a little bit, even though that's the reason I was there. Like, what you mean it's gonna help me? Like, but still, like, the truth be hurting. So I'm like, all right. She wrote me a prescription. I go through Eli Lilly. She wrote me a prescription. And by the time I walked out of that doctor's office, Lily was sending me a text message like, welcome to Lily. We're getting your prescription ready. Da 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 da. Basically, click on this link when you're ready to pay. I was like, dang, you know. And then my next appointment, I went for something totally unrelated. I think I needed like a physical form or something. I go in there and she gave me like, she measured my waist. I went down in inches. Mind you, this was only like 3 weeks later. I went down in inches in my waist. The scale had dropped like 15 pounds or so. I'm just guesstimating, but like it was like, dang, okay. And you know, that's what it was. That's when I knew that it was real, because I went there. I usually wait early in the morning down here where I am now, and that's how I feel like I'm getting something more accurate. Like before I start eating and drinking water and stuff, I just weigh myself first thing in the morning. But this was at like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and I was like, not me still like low in weight. That's how I knew it was real, when I stepped on the scale at the doctor's office, because your house scale, you know, it might stroke your ego, but when you go step on the scale at the doctor, like you be like, not 15 more pounds. Like I was just 200 at the house. What you mean 219? Somebody lying, and it ain't me. But no, just weigh your odds, talk to your PCP, and if this is something that you trying to do, baby girl, do it, because I have no regrets. I'm actually thinking about when I get to my 50-pound goal, like what I'm gonna do. Like, you know, do I try to lose more? I don't really think I need to, but it's gonna have to be like a life after Zepbound at that point, because I responded really, really well, and that could be you. But so don't be afraid to do what you gotta do, because people are gonna talk you out of it. People tried to talk me out of it. I didn't tell my husband for like the first 5 weeks, because I just knew he was gonna be like, Madison, you were just training with a trainer. You were doing fine. And yeah, and I'm still the same size. I was doing fine. Fine, because when you went to work, I had a big old bowl of cereal. Like, yeah, I was doing just fine, you know. But now he has nothing to say. Like, he was side-eyeing me a little bit, but like he could not deny the results. He could not deny that my portions were smaller. He could not deny that me going to the grocery store, I was coming back with them bags of good stuff. It wasn't like stuff that he would look in there, because he would never say nothing, but your man know when you big and you still eating ice cream, you still eating candy bars. Like, he knew what how them bags changed coming from the grocery store. Like, okay, I see you with the broccoli and the green beans. Like, you know, like, so he couldn't deny it. Like, the weight was coming off, you know, and it's not like gross looking either. Like, I'm turning into a baddie, you know, like. And it's all good. Like, I'm not saying that to be conceited or not. I'm just saying, like, go with your gut, because I knew better and I didn't know better. Like, the people that I told tried to talk me out of it. Like, do what you know your mind is telling you to do. Because yes, you lose weight on this. Yes, you change your eating, your appetite. But girl, I'm trying to tell you, like, when it comes to wrapping that towel around you when you get out the shower and it close up, that's unmatched. When you could watch the cracks and the creases in the shower, like, ain't nobody messing with me. Ain't nobody messing with me on the shower game now, because now I could wash my back. The back be fully washed by myself. Okay? Like, I could put my lotion on. You know, I ain't sweating before I leave the bathroom. Like, it was stuff that, like, you knew that stuff was happening because you was big. And it's okay, because you about to get on your GLP-1 journey and you about to be not big, okay? Just do it. I'm not telling anybody to do it. Like, go get on Zepbound. You overweight, go get. But if it's in your mind, I think you should do it. I'm the good friend over here telling you, girl, you should go do it, instead of trying to judge you because you about to be skinnier than me. Like, I think you should do it. You gotta do it. So anyway, that's just my little information, my shot update. Since last week, I lost another 2 pounds, which takes me to 38 pounds going into week 13. I am so happy for these results. I don't think I could have done it any other way, in this fashion, at this pace, and I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine. So, you know, follow your heart, follow your gut, because this could be the decision that changes your whole life. And I'm not just talking about weight loss, because can't nobody play with me now. Can't nobody play with me now. You said what? I thought you was talking to me. You know? Can't nobody play with me now, because it was like a snowball effect. You know, like one thing just led to another, and it started with the appetite change, putting better food into my body, which allowed me to clear. You know how like you like detox from stuff like drugs and alcohol? I had to detox from that food because it was getting to a point. And like you won't know what I'm talking about unless it's happened to you, or until you try it and then you figure out exactly what I'm talking about. Like the people who know what I'm talking about, like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I ain't so busy eating ice cream and spending time on TV. I heard my kids in the back room talking smack. Cause they know, oh, she too busy. She in there eating. She ain't worried about me. Yeah, I can sneak out. My kids are 7. They don't be doing that right now. But I'm just saying an example. You be peep stuff. Like when your mind ain't full of that junk. Like watch. Try it if you gonna try it. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for us all. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you love being here. We are all welcome in the Burfitt Club. I love it here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I love you.